for that great welcome. Larry Smith, you're an absolute treasure. Wasn't that an incredible presentation, Larry? I'm really impressed to see so many new people here today. And I'm going to speak for just a few minutes, but I want to touch three broad points. And before I do, though, how many folks are guests that this is your first Legal Shield experience? Can you just raise your hand? Great. Wow, great. Thank you for taking time on a Saturday from your family and friends to spend this morning with us. If you're here for the first time and you hear this remarkable plan and its benefits and attributes explained so elegantly by Larry Smith, it is one of those times in your life where you're probably looking from the outside in, thinking that this is one of those times that it sounds almost too good to be true. And there are times in our life that we hear about opportunities and they feel and sound that way. I'm actually a lawyer by training myself. Don't throw anything. And I want to try and explain to you why this system and why this business model works so well. Because it truly is a very simplistic system, and it drives through the power of being the largest clients. We have law firms in every state across the United States and 4 provinces in Canada. I can tell you that for many years, when I was practicing law in New Jersey and New York, that there was one very simple rule. You took the phone calls from your largest clients first. I'm looking at the attorneys in the front row, they're nodding. They're the ones that keep your lights on. They're the ones that pay the bills. They're the ones that pay for your support staff, your library expenses. Do people have libraries anymore? And they are the drivers, the support, the underpinning of your practice. In every one of the law firms around the United States and Canada that are our legal service provider firms, we are the largest client. This gives you, even though your purchasing power is $20 a month, it gives you a very, very unique position. We paid last year $100 million to our provider law firms. That's an extraordinary amount of money. But it meant that from California to New York, from Florida to Montana, from Washington State to Virginia, that we were the largest client. Our members get exquisite service. As we were looking at the transaction and buying this company, actually it was 4 years ago, I was on the team doing diligence, looked from the outside in, and obviously as a lawyer, it fell to me as part of the deal team to try and understand the service proposition. And at the time I was living in California, and my provider service firm out there is called Parker Stanberry. Now Parker Stanberry is a 100-year-old law firm. They have 65 lawyers in that firm that do nothing but work for Legal Shield members. It's extraordinary. So I spent a day at Parker Stanberry, and I went in and met with Bob Lopresti and Ron Smith, the supervising and managing partners of that firm. And they spent some time with me, giving me a very detailed roadmap to the legal service provision. As we were finishing up and they were heading me towards the elevator for the next deal team to come in and get the same explanation, I asked if I could have a little time just to walk around the office. And thinking I'd be there for 10 or 20 minutes. Well, something extraordinary happened. First of all, they gave me carte blanche. I walked through unescorted. And what I found was remarkable, because from office to office to office, I dropped in, sat down, and listened to these attorneys talking to members. And the average years of practice of Legal Shield lawyers across the United States and Canada is 19 years of bar-admitted practice. These are professionals. We don't use clerks, paralegals, interns. If you call as a Legal Shield member into any provider law firm, or you're moved over to one of our referral firms, you will find a professional that's steeped in the practical knowledge and specialized capabilities of the matter that you're inquiring about. Hey, look, if you're calling about a family law matter, you don't want a property attorney taking that call. If you got a tax matter or an audit, as as Larry was describing. You don't want a traffic lawyer. Here you call in and discreetly, our intake operators will move you to a professional representative who is specialized in that area of your need. This is remarkable. I mean, this doesn't happen anywhere else but here. But it is that power of being the largest client. Because you take all these $20 subscription fees and you add them together, and they add up to $100 million of legal support fees throughout the year that gives our little individual membership costs such power in a collective fashion. The second point I wanted to make to you today was about the business opportunity. But actually, before I do, another point that I think bears some repeating. It's well known to the senior executives in the room here, but right now, over 34,000 companies across the United States and Canada offer the service plan that Larry just so beautifully described to you, offer it to their employees as a voluntary benefit. Why do they do that? Well, it's very simple. If an employee is at work and they have a legal matter that's weighing on them or their family, I can guarantee you the last thing they're thinking about work is their work they should be focusing on. There's this notion in business parlance that's called presenteeism. It's being at work but not thinking about your pursuit of that work. We take that away. We elevate that away from an employee in a business setting. And it's why over 1,600 school systems across the United States offer legal shields to teachers. It's why we have hospitals. We have municipalities like the cities of Sacramento, city of Detroit, that offer legal shield to their municipal workers. We're in every segment of the U.S. economy you could think of, from entertainment to transportation, manufacturing to hospitality to healthcare. And we're in those segments because executives in those businesses have come to understand that offering a relevant, value-added service to their employees is the best way to assure that those employees will be attentive to their duties at work. Moving on for just a minute to the business opportunity. Larry always brings a smile to my face when he talks about our compensation arrangements. And indeed, we have created an incredible number of millionaires. But I want to put this a little bit in perspective for you and why I think now is the best time if you're thinking about career options, why this may be the best time ever to consider legal shield. My good friend and business partner, Alan Fernley, and I, who have worked together for almost 20 years, I just can't shake him off my shoe. We've gone from company to company together, and this is our calling. We just love this place. But in our previous lifetime, we had run a number of the world's premier cosmetics companies. And I know